speeding up now. So you need to remove the door jamb, and there's a pin that goes right here. So you just need to knock it up from the bottom. You can use a hammer. I did the what you're not supposed to do, and I used my ratchet to get it up. You know, eventually every tool is a hammer, so use what you got, but get that pin popped out. That'll let your door open. And then we got to get the fender off. So fender, there's going to be a bolt right here. There's going to be another one down here. Then you're going to have three, one here, one here, one here. And then there's another bolt right back here behind your indicator. And then that will free up your fender. And these are all 10mm bolts, and that'll come right off. And then your door, you can see right there. So you're going to take it off at the hinges. So there's two 14mm bolts right here, and then there's another set of two right there. So that will get your door off. So there we go, some weight savings. And I lied, I forgot about two bolts. So there's going to be a bolt here as well. You can get it underneath. And then there's going to be a bolt right here, and you kind of have to pull your side skirt down a little bit, but it's right there and you can just pull it out. So now you have easy access to the door hinges. And then, you know, this is your hood latch release. I need to replace mine, so this fender is going to come off again pretty soon. But all in all, not too difficult. It's just, yeah, these ones can be a little tricky to get to, but yep, pull them all off and get ready to get your door off. Okay, all the hinges are off now, so now the only thing that's holding it on is the door latch. So here we go. Okay, so now you need to disconnect the speaker wire to the door harness, and then just lift it right away. I think I might leave it like that. It looks pretty dope. Okay, hanging the door, it can be a little trying sometimes, but it's really not too difficult if you do it in the right order. So the way I do it, I start in the back and get that latched first, so the door is effectively closed. And that'll line up your brackets. So I start with this bolt, the top one, and I get that one in first, and then I go for this one right here, the lowest bolt. And I get those two started finger tight. And it's a little tricky because you'll have to balance the door. It's going to want to tilt backward or forward. You're just going to have to kind of lift it. There's places to hold. It's good to have the window down so you can kind of lift up from the inside of the door. And it's really helpful if you have two people, but if you don't, you can do it. So you just have to get it lifted up, and just so you can get this hole aligned, because if you have this hole aligned and that one, the other two are going to be right where they need to be. So start from the back, get that latched first, and then that bolt and that bolt. Once those are in, everything else is golden. So before you get too crazy about cranking everything down, just make sure that the door is sitting flush. So check your body lines. So make sure that the door trim is matching with your rear quarter panel trim. Also check your seam right here. Those are matched up. And then check out, if you want to get real crazy, just make sure that your gap is the same all the way up. All right. And then up here, you got to check too. Make sure that everything's straight. And then once you get that, you can crank them down, get them really tight. You don't want those ones coming loose. A little trick as well is if you're only one person, you can get your jack and just make sure that you have like a towel or something on the bottom of it, or cardboard or a 2x4, and you can actually jack up this point of the door, and that'll tilt it up a little bit so you can get a good secure snug fit. But that's it. That's the door installed. Not bad. Now let's get on to that fender. Okay, so the door is hung. Now let's get this fender on. So the fender, it's pretty straightforward, goes right back the way it came off. But you're gonna wanna start with getting that under your side skirt. Just makes it a little easier. So get that one in, then that's gonna line up this as well. And then your 3 bolts along the top. So just work from that side and then up and over. Should make sense. Here, I'll show you. So we'll try to do this as easily as I know how. So I start with the back. Get that one lined up first. Go. Here we go. So they're all lined up. And then these top ones sometimes have to be kind of coerced into their shape. So just like that. So let's get some bolts in there. So I'm going to start with the lowest one under the side skirt. There we go. And then I usually I'm going to go up to this one, just like it like that, so it'll hang right. It's just getting your door in the right position can be a little tricky. So you're trying to pay attention to this body line from the A-pillar down into your fender. So you really want to get that lined up. There we go. So you do want to pay attention to the body line. It's the A-pillar to your fender is kind of the most important one. Make sure that that one is lined up. And then from there, make sure that your door trim is lining up. So everything looks good from here. So I'll just continue on from the top and we'll get it all the way down. So there we have it, job complete. The colors don't exactly match, which I wasn't expecting them to. The new door, the new fender are quite a bit more faded than mine, but that's all right. You can see the difference in color shade here. That's the new one, this is the existing. I was gonna respray anyway, so that's gonna be later in the summer, so it doesn't really matter. All I wanted really was the body work, and you can see this is all much better, much straighter, and especially the front fender. There's no more gaping rust hole in here. It all fits up really nice, so can't complain about that. I'll show you the old fender. So this was the old fender. You can see the inside of it is just completely rotted out. This rust hole, and then everything else was pretty tinny, and yeah, everything was pretty mangled. You can see it was not happy about life. So we went from that to that. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. That makes me happy. Not bad for a couple hours work. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest, this was like 4 hours of work, but it was worth it. Approved.